I just I just went on Facebook and I posted two pictures, two screenshot pictures, and one is well, they're both from the Play Store, and one is showing you when you look at the Play Store and you select CDL practice test. I'm trying to show you which is the best one in my opinion, which is the best one to select because it's the most to me it's very close to the actual test that we will take. I personally use it, and so anyway, uh, if you'll see those pictures, download that app. When you open it up, it's going to tell you to select the state. Obviously, select Nebraska. Then you can begin your practice test. Now, I want to try to help you to get a CDL the easiest way as possible. So, I'm trying to help people who may feel that they don't have job skills, and but they do want to stop a criminal lifestyle. They don't want to sell drugs. They don't want to risk going back to prison. The person who's willing to try to put forth some effort to actually secure a career and a legal, honest income, that's who I'm talking to. So when you download the app and you open it, it gives you options of the test to take. I'm recommending for people to go get a Class A CDL with air brake and whatever your endorsements you choose to have. I have to get my CDLs renewed. Mine expired when I was back in there on that parole violation. Mine expired in 2017. Anyway, so what you'll do is I would just start from the top of the test and choose the first test option, whatever it's going to be. It might be general knowledge, whatever it's going to be. Choose it because you're going to need that anyway. And once the test begins, mind you, I'm trying to give you an easy way to get a Class A CDL. So you got to just follow these steps. Once the test begins, it's multiple choice. It's usually about 4 options to choose from to mark as an answer. So just go through the whole test and choose option A. Just A, 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 A. Go all the way down the whole test and choose option A. And then when you get done with all the questions, submit it. And when you submit it, the app is going to send you back the results of your test. And your incorrect answers will be in red. And then the correct answer for that question will be in green. So what I recommend that a person does when they go back, or I'm sorry, when they send you that test back and it's, red and green, like I was just explaining, screenshot every page, of the test. So you'll have the beginning all the way to question number 70, whatever it might be, and you get screenshots. So now you have the question and the green answer is the correct answer. So what I recommend a person does is read the question and then only read the correct answer. Only. Don't read the other options, the other multiple choice options, because then you're filling your brain up with information that's useless. Read the question and then read the answer. Word association is what it's called. So you'll see these words, that's the question, and then you'll see this answer. What'll happen is when you go down to the DMV, after you've read those questions and answers so many times, once you go down to the DMV to take your test, when you look at the test and it gives you a question, you'll read the question, and when you look at the selection of answers, because you've only been reading the correct answer, that's the answer that you're going to recognize. You're not going to recognize the other answers because you didn't even read them. So you didn't even take in that information. So those will be foreign to you. But that answer, the correct one, you'll see it and you'll click on it. So you'll go through the whole test like that. But now that right there will allow you to pass the CDL test. You'll go through. You have to study the whole test, like I just said, or not study the whole test. I'm sorry. You have to go through the whole test and do what I just said about selecting A. You have to go through the whole test. Then you have to read all the questions and answers. Excuse me. All the questions and answers so that it's retained in your memory, and then you can go ahead and go take the test and you'll pass the test. Now you're ready to drive, to drive the vehicle and try to take the drive test. So now you still have to get uh, the CDL manual. You can download that too online. You can download the manual, the actual CDL manual, and have it all in your phone or your device of whatever sort. And you can you can you have to study the test still, or study the material, because there's things about the vehicle that you'll have to know when it's time for you to do a pre-trip inspection. Yeah, and a walk around, you'll have to raise up the hood and you'll have to be able to look at the engine on both sides of the vehicle and understand what you're looking at. And you'll have to be able to understand if something looks unsafe or damaged or something like that that needs to be repaired before you take this trip. And that's why they call it a pre-trip inspection. So you'll have to recognize what's good and what's not under that hood. And then as you walk along the entire span of the truck on both sides, most of what you see on this side of the truck is going to be a twin on the other side of the truck. So once you start understanding the components of that truck and trailer and all the undercarriage, and looking at your tires and axles and all the suspension the drivetrain and the steering components, all that going all the way around, so reading that manual is going to help you to understand that. But it's very little effort if you really think about it, and it's going to start you out a career that will be paying you about 50,000 or more, about 55,000 a year. And for someone who doesn't have any job skills, to do this simple amount of effort to acquire a career that will give you 55,000 a year, and it's legit, and you get to see the country. You will drive these trucks and be able to go see the country for free. You'll be able to see. You'll get paid to see the country. They'll put you in hotels, so you'll be able to do some traveling, uh, and you'll start. And and that's another thing. Let's think about it like this. Let's say you have gang ties, and let's say you've been, or in addition, let's say also, maybe you don't have gang ties, but you're someone that's been selling drugs for the majority of your life, or doing something criminal to obtain sources of income. So let's say you're that individual. Uh, the amount of effort that's necessary to start this career, uh, to get you out of that lifestyle, is very minimal. You'll be able to, like I said, go see the country, and it gives you a way. If you have those gang ties, driving that truck, and you'll be gone pretty much, you'll be gone at least 5 days, 6 days out of the week. This allows you to get away from your gang ties, get away from those homies. So it'll kind of start becoming an out of sight, out of mind thing. And if you're wise, you will continue to take advantage of that, and don't be a fool. And every day you get a day off, you rush back to the hood to go and see them and update them on everything that you got going on. So you're trying to like live both lifestyles, because you can't be doing it like that. If you're going to get away from that lifestyle, take advantage of this information that I'm trying to share with you about getting a Class A CDL, so you can start driving nationwide, get away from that nonsense, get away from the drug dealer mentality, so that you'll start understanding the the crowd in the workforce. You'll start understanding that crowd and recognizing the lingo and things like that of people who actually just hold jobs, and you'll start interacting with them from state to state throughout the country, depending on your job. You know, wherever they're going to send you, but uh, that will allow you an escape. You know what I mean? It's not like I said, you can start. So over here, when you start living in that truck, basically, and you're just driving around the country making money, but over here, your past gang life, you're kind of being in a situation where you're out of sight, out of mind. You know, they'll talk about you for a while in the beginning, but then the more you're gone, the more you're just gone, 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 gone. Stuff is still happening over here. People are still being shot. People are going out and shooting people. People are catching drug charges. People are catching, you know, just anything, whatever's going on. So that's still happening over here. So there's things to happen over here that will help erase your name and your presence. So the more you just stay gone and stay driving, the less you are affiliated with this. And it allows you to start strengthening your new identity, uh, to not be a gang member or not be a drug dealer. This helps you to strengthen that identity to where you recognize yourself, only as you identify as a truck driver, hypothetically. That's just an idea. That's just one field of work. That's just a little bit of information. If you go and do that, it doesn't matter if you're a male or female. You can go get your Class A CDL. And I'll tell you what, once you have that Class A CDL and you pass the test, I think the permit that they give you is good for a year. Once you have that, now you'll be saying, well, man, I ain't got no truck to go drive. How am I going to do a drive test? Well, you take this permit that you've passed that, and you go to you look at the paper. If you look at the paper, what is it, the Sunday paper that comes out with the job ads, it's flooded with jobs for CDL drivers. Flooded every single week, all throughout the year, period. It's flooded with jobs for CDL drivers. So you'll be able to find work. So you can take that permit, you can go to a job and say, hey, I just passed this, you know, so I'm at this stage of my CDL um, licensing, but now I just need to be able to get familiar with the truck. Man, them people will take you right on in because you already got the permit. They teach you about that truck, teach you how to drive it, upshift, downshift, float the gears, double clutch. You'll learn all these types of things. You'll have to learn those things. You'll have to learn about the air brake suspension. But the bottom line is, it's not like you're going to college and you're going to owe a whole bunch of money back. You're about to go get your Class A CDL and start working a job as early as next week, depending on when you get your CDL. You know, you could be starting a job pretty quickly and be legit. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? You can be meeting people. You might decide to go live in a different state. You know what I'm saying? You traveling around. You might decide to leave Nebraska altogether. That's definitely a way to start a new identity and to grow away from who you once were, that negative person. That's an idea. Take these things to heart. I would use the advice if I was you. All right, I'll get back on here in a little bit.